Hey there, stop scrolling for a minute. Imagine yourself in Kenya. The winds are hot. It feels like those summer holidays. You're sitting inside an open safari vehicle, moving slowly through the grasslands. It's early in the morning. The grass is still wet, and somewhere in the distance, vultures are circling above something dead. Then, the driver suddenly slows down. A spotted hyena walks out of the grass. It crosses the road a few meters in front of you, stops for a moment, and looks directly at the vehicle. Look at it. Those heavy shoulders, that thick neck, a head built around jaws powerful enough to crack open bones that most animals cannot even bite through. It looks like a creature that should be afraid of almost nothing. But imagine that this particular hyena is male, because behind that powerful body is one of the worst social lives in the animal kingdom. And strangely, it does not begin badly. A male spotted hyena is usually born inside a large clan, surrounded by his mother, his siblings, and dozens of animals that already know exactly where he belongs. Picture him as a cub near the entrance of a den. Several young hyenas are playing in the dirt. A piece of meat lies nearby. The cub walks toward it. Another cub tries to block him, and then his mother appears. The other cub moves away. He gets the food, not because he fought for it, because of who his mother is. Spotted hyena society is organized into strict family hierarchies. A cub usually receives a social position close to, but slightly below, that of its mother. If she is one of the most powerful females in the clan, her sons and daughters grow up with many of the same advantages. They receive better access to food. Their mother supports them during conflicts. Other hyenas learn to move when they approach. High-ranking mothers even produce sons that tend to grow faster than sons born into lower-ranking families. So, for the first part of his life, being male does not seem like a problem. He has food, he has protection, he has a place. Then he grows up, and one day he walks away from all of it. Most male spotted hyenas leave the clan in which they were born after reaching maturity. They do not usually remain beside their mothers and sisters for the rest of their lives. They travel into unfamiliar territory and search for another clan in which they might reproduce. Imagine him leaving at night. Behind him, he can still hear the whoops of the animals he grew up with. He knows their smells. He knows which females tolerate him, which paths are safe, and where food is usually found. Then those sounds begin to fade. For the first time in his life, he is alone. Eventually, he reaches the territory of another clan. A female notices him first. She walks toward him with her head raised. The male immediately lowers his body. His ears move backward. He avoids looking directly at her and steps aside. Yesterday, he may have outranked several animals inside his birth clan. Here, he outranks almost nobody. When a male joins a new clan, he normally enters at the bottom of its male hierarchy. His mother's position no longer protects him. His childhood status does not transfer with him. He is now an immigrant. And the native females, surrounded by relatives and long-established alliances, dominate him. This is where most people misunderstand female hyenas. You may have heard that spotted hyena society is controlled by females because females are simply much stronger and more aggressive than males. Females are somewhat heavier on average, and they do tend to show more intense aggression. But that is not the full explanation. To see what is really happening, imagine the new male standing beside a carcass. He is hungry. He has not eaten properly in days. There is enough meat in front of him, and only one female appears to be feeding. Physically, he might be capable of challenging her, but he does not. He waits several meters away, because he is not only looking at the female in front of him. He is thinking about her mother, her sisters, her daughters, and every clan member likely to support her if the conflict becomes serious. For more than 2 decades, researchers followed wild spotted hyenas in Tanzania and recorded over 4,000 aggressive interactions. They found that social support was one of the strongest predictors of who would dominate whom. The animal that could expect more support was usually the animal that behaved more confidently and won the encounter. Females usually remain in the clan where they were born. This means they spend their lives surrounded by relatives. Males usually leave. So when a male arrives, he has already lost the one thing the females possess in abundance: backup. Later research suggests that differences in male and female aggression also contribute to female dominance. So social support may not explain everything, but it explains something extremely important. The male enters this society alone, while the females have been building relationships since birth. and those relationships control almost everything. Imagine the clan hunting at night. Several hyenas spread across the grass, chasing an antelope. The animal turns. The hyenas change direction with it. After a long pursuit, they finally pull it down. The male may have run with them. He may have helped exhaust the prey. But the moment the animal is dead, the social hierarchy returns. High-ranking females move in first. Their offspring feed beside them. Lower-ranking animals remain around the edges, looking for an opening. The immigrant male waits. A younger animal may eat while he watches. This is one of the strangest things about being a male hyena. He possesses a skull designed to crush bone, but his ability to eat is often controlled by something completely invisible: rank. Naturally, you might think he could improve his life by fighting the other males. That is how male competition works in many animal species. Two males fight. The winner moves upward. The loser moves away. But male-spotted hyenas usually do not climb the hierarchy by beating the animals above them. They form a queue. Imagine arriving near the edge of the clan and finding several immigrant males already living there. One arrived 3 months ago. Another arrived last year. One has been there for 5 years. Your position is largely determined by when you arrived. In one long-term study, these queues commonly contained 15 or more males. Aggression between them was surprisingly low. Body size did not decide their positions, and males generally did not attempt to improve their rank through physical combat. The males who arrived first remained above the males who arrived later. So how does a male move up? He waits for someone ahead of him to leave or die. That is it. A male can spend years slowly advancing because the animals above him disappear one by one. He does not become important because he defeats them. He becomes important because he outlasts them. Imagine being told there are 15 people ahead of you, nobody can be skipped, and your promotion depends on one of them vanishing. That is the male hyena career system. But this creates an obvious question. Why would he leave home in the first place? Why abandon a clan where he has relatives and status just to become the lowest-ranking male somewhere else? The answer begins with a young female. Imagine her walking through the clan while several males follow at a distance. One of those males was born there years before she was. Another arrived after she was already alive. Research suggests that young females often prefer males that were born into or entered the clan after the female herself was born. It is a remarkably simple rule, but it helps her avoid mating with her father or older brothers. Older females may also prefer males that have spent a long time developing friendly relationships with them. This creates a problem for young males. If a male stays in his birth clan, many of the females available to him are relatives, while unrelated females may be less likely to choose him. Leaving home destroys his social position, but it gives him access to females that may actually accept him. In one long-term population in Tanzania's Ngorongoro crater, around 85% of young males left their birth clan to reproduce elsewhere. To find a mate, the male often has to become a nobody first. And even after doing that, mating is not simple. Picture a male following a female through the grass. He does not walk confidently beside her. He remains several meters behind. He moves closer. She turns her head. He immediately stops. Then, when the female begins walking again, he follows. This can continue for a long time because aggression does not help him here. The female chooses whether he gets close, and most of his attempts will simply be ignored. So, after leaving his family, losing his rank, waiting behind older males, and being pushed away from food, he must now convince a female that he is safe enough to tolerate. And even if he succeeds, he will not become the leader of a family. The female raises the cubs, and their rank comes from her. Now return to the safari vehicle. The hyena looks at you for a moment, then disappears into the grass. You saw powerful jaws and a dangerous predator. What you did not see was an animal living at the bottom of a society where strength rarely solves anything. He cannot fight his way upward. He cannot force acceptance. He can only wait. So yes, be grateful you were not born a male hyena.